What's going on, you guys? Welcome on back to the channel. Now, with Boruto Chapter 13 officially out, we now have Prescience introduced to everyone that is now reading Two Blue Vortex officially and non officially. I thought now would be the perfect time to kind of talk about Prescience and show how Prescience has actually been like a thing throughout the entire story. Now, I'm not going to talk about the moments that were shown off in the manga already, like the Kawaki and Baryon mode ones, like because those are I feel like we don't need to talk about. Like those where like if Naruto dies, then it creates the whole thing. So I don't think we need to talk about those because those are kind of clear, right? Like I feel like those like are probably going to be hammered to death already. So I figured we could talk about some more probably moments that aren't as talked about enough. And one moment that I think like is has just become like so important now is the very first moment from episode 1 where it's Boruto and it's Kawaki and you just see Boruto go like was this the only possible outcome? Like that moment right there, I always thought that moment symbolized like Naruto being sealed and him trying to like talk to Kawaki and be like, was sealing my dad the only way to like accomplish your goal and like wipe out the Otsutsuki? But now what that is that it's prescience. It's another timeline. It's another reality of a version of a Boruto like trying to combat fate and failing. Like that's a universe where Boruto has failed because, as Kashin Koji said, there are a myriad of different realities in which Boruto has failed his mission to combat fate to save the world, and that is a timeline or a reality in which Boruto has failed, and that's just so cool to me. The fact that Kishimoto wrote that scene like what 7 8 years ago, like they made that 8 years ago, and like we're just now seeing the returns of that. Like they set that up that long ago is crazy to me, dog. Like that's so cool. The fact that this has probably been a thing since all the way at the beginning, all the way back like 8 7 8 years ago. So that's crazy. Now, another thing that I want to talk about revolves around Toneri, right? Like, and a lot of this is like going back to like the anime. Now, the anime back in the beginning, a lot of people didn't care about it because it felt everyone was like, it's not adapting the manga. Like, we're so far behind the manga. Like, why would we even watch this? But now, I'm beginning to think that the anime is its own separate timeline or its own separate reality, while the manga could be its own. But the anime is also telling the same stuff, just from like a different lens, like with like anime original content. So, what do I mean by that? Well, it all revolves around Toneri. So we had like an episode like no, not 14, maybe like episode like it was like very early. You see Boruto have a dream about Toneri. Like Toneri shows up in his dream. Like Boruto is like teleported somewhere and he's like, where is this? And Toneri shows up. And Toneri basically calls him like a star of hope that's going to combat fate. Like this like Toneri essentially set up like Prescience like all these years ago in the anime, right? This was set up in the anime, bro. Like, it's just so wild to me that we got this interaction. Boruto thinks that it's about the Byakugan, but in actuality, like this whole thing was Toneri trying to impart to Boruto, hey, you need to get ready. You need to get stronger because you're going to need to combat fate soon. And that even like is extrapolated on in episode like 44 when like Toneri is like looking out into space and he sees like the space time like or just the space itself start cracking. And what I think that symbolizes now is that reality beginning to fall apart. That reality beginning to like if Boruto doesn't do something, that reality is going to die. Right? Like everything like the world is going to die in that and or fall apart in that time in that reality. So what I think that symbolizes is if Boruto doesn't do something with Momoshiki and beat him in that fight, then that reality will result in a failure, and that's just so crazy to think about now. Like if you really go back and think about it, like they set that up so long ago. But the last thing with Toneri that I really want to talk about and I really want to hammer in on is his last appearance so far in the anime, where he's being sealed away and being turned to stone. And he's essentially saying, "Oh no, what about Boruto? Boruto's not ready to shoulder the fate of this world yet." And what that means is Toneri knows he's not strong enough yet to like prevent some of these things from happening. So, and then once Toneri is officially sealed, you see, like, we cut back to Boruto, and Boruto's putting his hand over his eye, the same eye that will have the Jogan, the same eye that gets slashed. Like, it's just so cool. And now, like, it's basically Toneri, like, imparting to Boruto, like, you need to shoulder the fate of this world, and you need to get stronger. And that just informs everything going into the Momoshiki arc, and how Boruto takes down Momoshiki and all that. And that prevents the reality from falling apart. Like, it's just so good, man. Like, there's so many like different things that are set up in the anime that set up Prescience. But one last thing that I want to talk about too is Boruto opening 11. Boruto opening 11 though is an opening that a lot of people didn't like at first, but has become very important as the years have gone on. So in this opening, you got like Kawaki like being highlighted as being like alone, while you have Boruto with his friends, and this opening not only sets up like omnipotence, but it also sets up prescience in a way. Like when Boruto is running, trying to catch up to Naruto, you see moments of his life flash before him, almost like a slideshow of everything. But now with prescience, you were able to see that it's shot in a similar way to Prescience, where like it's kind of like the slideshow. Like, so it's what I think that is different realities that are being displayed before Boruto, and he's trying to outrun them, trying to combat fate, and try to change things so that way, like, he doesn't lose everything. It's so cool the way that like Two Blue Vortex has really changed the game in terms of Boruto. Because for me, I always loved Naruto, but I never really got moments like this. Bro, with everything in Boruto now, like it's making me view the series in a completely new lens. Like, you're able to see it for like a whole new perspective now. So it's honestly dope. Prescience is like the best thing that's ever happened. Like one of the best things that's ever happened now, because it just creates so many things to talk about, at least for me. So I think this twist has revitalized my wanting to talk about Boruto. So there's that. But I think that's going to do it for this video. If you guys think that there's any more like foreshadowing moments of prescience, like in the Boruto manga or in the anime, let me know. Maybe I'll even do a follow-up on this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, I'm going to talk to you guys next time. Bye.